number 6 is to consider approval to place bi-rib metal panels on the middle barn at the fairgrounds. The amount not to exceed $3,000. The funding will come from the fairground improvement line item we have.
Is this for the roof or sides or what?
It's for we did the one barn a couple of years ago, the panels that we take on and off every winter. So there's a middle barn that still doesn't have any panels on it, so that's the one that's, there's several horses in that barn right now, so.
We need a motion on that since it's coming out of their funding or?
It's coming out of what we allocate.
Oh, for the budget. Oh, okay.
Betty Bradshaw says as of this month, RV Park has generated over $26,000 in revenue at the
I saw several. I was going to
So
ask about all those sitting out there. Is that people renting?
It is. It's like I say, it's generated $26,000 this year, which is really big. It's really went over real well, especially in the last few months. So it's doing real good. So fairground looks good. If anybody's out there, they'll check it out.
Do we need a motion on this budget item here?
We do.
Motion to allow them to spend $3,000 on the metal panels for the barn.
Second.
Yes.
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 Item number 7 is to consider approval of pauper funeral.
Motion.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Item number 8, consider approval to hire Katie Kelsey to full-time position at the detention center.
Motion.
Second. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Item number 9, consider approval of direct deposit only payroll effective December 1st.
Motion.
Second.
Is this for the whole
Okay.
departments?
Everything will be direct deposit effective December 1st.
Has there been any other few of them that's confusion and holdouts and all that?
Well, it's just today's times, like it happened with a live check that used to not be possible. So to prevent anything from happening that shouldn't, I think it'll make things a lot better and easier.
Be less paperwork involved for
The accountability will be strengthened up.
But just the possibility of it happening, anything happening is less, so.
Now the stud, it's still kind of nailed or just pick one like that.
And then if you don't have a bank account, use your direct deposit, you get free banking anyway. Correct, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Melissa's found, she's checked with all the banks, and, there's different ways you can do it. You can do savings accounts, there's several ways you can do it, so it's just, there might be one of the few left that was doing it anyway, so.
That's exactly right.
Is there a paperwork, does everybody come probably fill out?
Yeah,
some paperwork?
Form to fill out just your bank account information so it can be.
Is that gonna be, that's going up here and do that, or they get mailed?
Yeah, they'll have to sign to do that for us to do that. And I think department heads have already shared most of that with everybody. Most people are doing it anyway, so but there's a few that's not.
Need a motion on that?
We do.
Motion to,
Yeah, we have motion to stand.
We already done it.
Yeah, we're ready.
Keep them straight.
Yes.
Yes.
yes. Sorry about that.
Don't hurt to do too much.
No, I get confused easily.
Item number 10, consider approval of budget transfer in the amount of $175,000 to the road, $100,000 to the detention center, and $30,000 to EMS.
Motion. Second.
Yes.
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 Did, We need to do the, Mr. McGlure up there so he can leave. Number 4.
No, he's on the conference call.
Oh, okay, oh.
He wants to be,
Oh,
stay
okay.
on.
I didn't want to, so, okay.
I've got that highlighted here.
Oh,
I'm not blind yet, I'm almost blind, not quite blind.
I don't know if you waited on this or not.
Item number 11, consider approval of Humana Medical Renewal Alternate Number 1. We first met with Humana, we met with the group that's representing us, we had about a 28% increase possibility. And with this option, we've gotten it down to about 1.19%. In order to try and control rising cost of insurance, this option seems to be the option that works the best considering the history of the claims that we have in the county employees. It's about a 1.19% increase. The only thing about it is we will have more exposure in our HRA benefits package that we have. But the offset reduced premium should make it better, make it where it doesn't cost as much. So the original to do what we had was about a 12% increase. So we chosen, we think this is the best thing for us to do. So I think you all have looked at that and talked about every one of you about it. Like I say, it does increase the possibility to expose us in the benefits card, but it looks like about 10% of the people only use their full amount of the benefits card. So that's a way to offset the $140,000 increase.
It makes a lot more sense to do that.
So,
A big increase with that.
Motion to approve medical renewal alternate 1.
Second.
Ms. Blackwell? Yes.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop? Mr. Tyrrell? Mr. Taylor?
item number 12 is hand in hand with that. Consider approval to raise HRA from $3,000 to $4,000 for individual and $6,000 to $8,000 for family.
Motion.
Second.
Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Tyrrell?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Item number 13, also a medical issue, is consider approval of contract renewal of McGregor and Associates for the benefits card. I think McGregor's done a good job. I think everybody's get familiar with it. Seems to be working really well, probably the best one we've had since I've been here anyway.
Motion to renew McGregor and Associates.
Second.
Jesse.
Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Hensley?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell? Mr. Butler?
It's all of our medical stuff now, it's a calendar year, right? So,
That's why we're doing
This
this.
is for 2020.
yeah. so-
I do, it's on down the list, open enrollment period is something that we're going down here in a minute. I guess I could go ahead and do that while I got it here, what's on the mind. Health insurance open enrollment meeting have been scheduled for, this is the county employees, November 14th, 2019. Each employee must attend one meeting in order to register for health, dental, and vision insurance. All insurance plans will be with Humana again this year. Meeting times are as follows. Thursday at the Marion County Detention Center, November the 14th at 7 o'clock. Thursday, November the 14th at 8:30, 10:30, 1:30. The 10:30 is here at this office, in this room, and the 1:30 is here at this office here. So we'll make some copies of this if anybody needs it. At 2:30, we're going to be at the county bar. On November the
I was
14th.
thinking the deadline was around December the 7th or something like that, that you have to sign it.
This is just the open enrollment part, so I don't know what the deadline is as far as I know. This is,
This week.
you need to sign up at this meeting.
Oh, okay.
All right, like I say, we'll make some copies of that. Jim, you got it?
I've got, all my guys got them.
Everybody got it? Item number 14, consider approval of bid for the 1976 fire truck that belongs to the Redwood Fire Department. We need a motion to accept the bid from Jesse Bohan in the amount of $1,250.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Item number 15, consider approval to renew the 2020 membership directive for the Marion County Chamber of Commerce in the amount of $250.
Second.
Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Item number 16 are department reports. Jimmy?
I got to order some tires put back in stock. I got to order 15 of them, and it's $4,700. You want me to do it separate, or I got some signpost and brackets, and that's $1,370.
And then we'll put a bunch of them again too, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been going through a bunch of them. We run out yesterday. Them's the only two motions that I need.
Motion to approve the $4,700 for the tires and $1,370 for the sign, post, and brackets. Second.
Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
I know some of y'all's been asking me about some jobs that I need to be getting done, but I'm waiting on these water permits to get them done. There's 2 or 3 of y'all got some. As soon as I can get these permits, I'll be getting them done. The Smothers Holler box cover, it's done, finished, it looks good and everything. All of the gravel roads that I know of, that road is in pretty good shape. If y'all know of any, we'll put some rock on them, but I think we've got everything in pretty good shape. And that boom mower, I'm gonna try to run it to the first year, and then I'll put the ditcher on after the first year. 'Cause I know some of y'all got several people that's fussing about the ditcher, but I'd like to run it to the first year, and then we'll change it over.
Both of them, just got one now.
One tractor, yeah. Unless y'all got any questions, everything's good.
After you get your tractor back, doing fine now?
Tractor, the boom mower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Keith's got a report in there.
He can make us look good or bad.
Where?
Our computer situation, all of our computers are back up finally, so it was over 2 months process getting everything back up, but all of them have been put online, so we're back up on that. I am working with Senator Jenny Higdon and LRC on drafting a bill for performance-based jails, which will be on the 2020 session, and that has really gained traction. The jails are a big subject for legislators this coming up 2020. It's so I found out even as yesterday that the state has already done an agreement on performance-based, and they're doing it right now with Boyle County. And the reason so is Boyle County has solicited the use of property at North Point Training Center to build a new jail. And so the state has made specific provisions in that agreement that the jail offer, that it be built by under national standards of American Correctional Association, and that it operate under American Correctional Association, and it operates under PREA. And that none of those have been subject to county jail operations ever. So that is it's already in ink, based in front of Bull County Fiscal Court and their government to answer to that if they wish to build their new jail on state property out there. Also in the conversation is not only, I found out, is that Senator Higdon, LRC, and myself moving for the performance-based jails. And this conversation started with the privatization, and the privatization recontract. They're hovering right now in Lee County, 800 bed facility, over 800-bed facility, at 59 and some change. 2020, their contract will go to $60+ a day on housing state offenders in a private facility. So the gist of the bill is going to be that if a county government matches the per diem, matches the contract that the state has with privatization, if we meet those benchmarks, some of those benchmarks, then we would be afforded the same opportunity for a renegotiated rate that's compatible to what they're paying private prisons. I can tell you, when I'm sitting there looking at you, we're only being paid $31, $34, and then with a $9 supplement, we're at $40, and then on certain. So it would be a tremendous B12 shot to our county budget, to what's happening with the jail. We would hopefully be wise enough that we would solve our recruiting and our turnover, being able to actually compensate the employees and hold on to some employees down there, be able to move forward with more technology that would help with the jobs, and add more programs. When I say that, add more programs, what we're doing now is we're doing multiple programming with prisoners. It was years ago that it was considered that you couldn't do more, you kept on one subject matter and that was it. They wouldn't let you do multiple things, but all of that stuff is changing, and we're pushing to do more with that. So that's a very big positive. But what I found out is the DOC, Department of Corrections, is pushing right now. They've already got it in writing to push in front of legislators, and actually it may even it could possibly go in an administrative process, is to do the very same thing. Put labels on national standards. You remember, Marion County is the only elected operated jail in the state of Kentucky that's ever achieved ACA, and we did that in 2011. And it went through 14, and then of course there was no incentive base given to us for that effort, so we let that kind of go to the side, because there is some expense of hiring a compliance coordinator and keeping them on staff and going through your files and staying toward the national standards compliance. It's extremely achievable. We're on it. It won't be. We haven't lost it. As far as our operation, we'll conform right back in to the mode that we was in 2011 when we first got the accreditation. But it just feels right, and it feels like there's actually, in all of the times that we face these budget sessions of stuff happening, I think 2020 is going to be the year that it'll get put out there. I'm working with a guy by the name of David Hassenritter out of Washington, D.C. He is going to work with trying to educate as many legislators prior to the open session about ACA, about the prison. All of our juvenile systems, all of those are under national accreditation, and hopefully that we won't get up there and go stale right into a meeting, and we won't be able to get out of committee with the argument of doing performance-based jails. It is tangible. It is, I believe wholeheartedly that'll be the model that they'll take in legislation, because they've got 12,000 prisoners scattered out, sentenced prisoners in jails across the state of Kentucky, and Kentucky can't afford to push I guess a consistent raise to paint it with the same brush, because it's going to cost so much money. And two, there are so many different factors, and even the sheriff can attest to this, because he goes to a lot of the jails. They're not all created equal. They don't all offer the same level of performance, and physical plants are different. But anyway, so it's positive. I really think this will be, if this comes through, and I said that word if, hopefully, I know the Judge Association's looking hard, I hope the Managers Association is looking hard. The Jailer Association appears to be supportive of performance-based funding. So we'll see when everybody starts throwing numbers, it could change attitudes and stuff out there. But again, working on the bill language right now for performance-based jails with LRC and Mr. Hickman right now. So it's, there's light at the end of the tunnel. This could really turn a lot of the restraints, what we're doing for the court, funding back. Again, one of the articles in the National Correctional Magazine come out of ACA Corrections Forum this week, and this is a national issue with the retention of staff nationally. Everybody, the nation is pushing for corrections reform in what we're doing with correctional staff, counselors, qualified professionals, recruiting and training. So that'll be positive for us too. One thing I do need today that we sent up here, but actually we didn't get it on the agenda with Kelsey's approval for employment. But last year we approved we actually went from being a contracted out medical to doing the self-medical. And it's been with trial and error. And it's been with some fumbles and hardships and some getting used to. But nonetheless, it has come into a pretty smooth operation. We were looking, when we was doing contract medical, Judge and Kevin then was with us, that we were looking at the uppers of $900,000 to $1 million on medical for the jail. I'm saying right now, we've done the numbers this week. We're possible going to come in around 640, 630 on this budget year. So, and that's even smaller than the year before that we've done, and that's unheard of in the medical arena. So some of the stuff that we're doing is working for us to be self-medical. Now, we had Trina is my medical manager, and we had it set in and kept her with a salary base paid when we did that self-medical last year. Now she stepped down, went into a part-time mode, stayed there for a while. But even through the national standards, ACA stuff, I've got to have a medical manager in charge of my medical. Period. In discussion. The wording is not even if, may, should. It's you shall have someone managing your medical. So Trina has agreed to come back as an hourly, full-time hourly. We've got her at 30 to 36 hours right now. So she's on that part-time plus kind of a position. So she's already on medical and retirement and that stuff. But so my ask is I've never have filled the position that because she's actually always kind of been there tentatively, but not in the full-time salary basis since last June. But even going back as hourly, it's still going to be significantly less than what we started with last year. So I asked for the approval to put Trina Bland Lee back from part-time back to the full-time administrator over medical on an hourly rate.
Is there I heard this from you or somebody, that is the state, like the lead councils, are they trying to maybe lease the facility and run it themselves?
Well, the original concept of privatization was that very thing, and it was for private sectors to go in and be able to spend the capital expenditures and build the correctional complex and lease them. Lee County is currently it's operated by private and stuff. In Floyd County, the 500-600 bed facility having in Otter Creek up there, Wheelwright area, the privatization has leased the complex to the state, and it's going to be a state run with state employees, state counselors and stuff. And when you say that, Larry, the counselors, I'm hovering $14.50 on degreed counselors. The state hovers $19. There has been talk that possibly will be what will be looked at here in Marion County at St. Mary's, that it would be a state, if the opportunity came that they thought they was gonna need additional beds, and they do, that the same type of contract or same type of a deal could possibly be offered out here, where it would be a state-run corrections facility. Not a private run, but a state run.
That's what I was wondering.
So that's just been the talk, because they just signed that and I think Floyd County's gonna be up and running somewhere around March of 2020. So I'm sure they're gonna ride one horse at a time, so there's been nothing officially said about MAC at all at this point. But if it happened there, it stands a chance to happening down here.
Need a motion for that?
Yeah, I need a motion on Trina,
Motion to move Trina.
from part-time to full-time.
Second. Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Shepard?
Yes.
Mr. Colbert?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Thank you, Brad.
All right, thank you.
Robert?
For the month of October, we made 225 calls for service, and from January 1 to the end of October, we answered 2,216 calls for service. And while we had one of our units out getting service, they noticed that the water pump was leaking a little bit, and Jim and them tore it down and found a wrench in it.
It wasn't our wrench, it was a snap-on wrench. We don't buy a snap-on. We can't force snap-on.
Anyway,
You got one now?
Yeah.
so we done pretty good. We actually caught something before we had a problem.
That's great. That's good news.
Other than that, everything's going fine.
Thank you, Rob. Laura had to report it. Animal shelter Kay couldn't make it today, but she does have one item that she's wanting to use 2,000 of her budget to,
Set up a donation money.
we budget spade neuter program, we budget 2,000 a year anyway, so it's 2,000 of that. She's wanting to use 2,000 for new spade neuter vouchers.
I think she wanted you to come out, she got some more donations, so I think she maybe, not gonna be what she wanted, but I talked to her, I think she was gonna take it out of her, she said from donation, but I don't know if she meant her, might have clarified that, wasn't it?
Yeah, all right. Either way, I think it comes from the same place, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll make a motion to allow Kay to spend 2,000 from her funds donations for spay and neuter vouchers. She wants to get this started pretty soon.
Second.
Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Colbert? Mr. Colbert?
She said everything else is going pretty quiet right now, and she was coming, she had an appointment or something.
Yeah. Terry?
The career center right now with office traffic is 450, that's including job fairs and workshops. We've had several job fairs for Tommy, TG, Resource Manufacturing, that's a temp agency, so we've had like 3 or 4 job fairs for our companies. And then also, we put on Manufacturing Day event. Did anybody get to go? I know Mr. Porter did. Do you want to speak about it a little bit? Oh, but you were there? But
It was
anyway.
fantastic. Very well attended, too.
I couldn't make it because of whatever happened to my dad passing, but it was a wonderful event. We had 309 seniors from Marion and Washington County, and they had 5 minutes. We had 12 sessions, and they had 5 minutes to sell their company. And also they won door prizes, and each one of the magistrates got your T-shirt. This T-shirt was provided by TG Kentucky. They paid for everything, so the companies really go out and pay for all the door prizes and our T-shirts. They really do. And we also did soft skills, ECTC and I, the Career Center, all went into the schools in Marion, Washington County. We talked to all the seniors about soft skills, and it was wonderful. The kids were really great, and they listened, and they really are going to be great. And I hope they'll come back to our workforce. That's one thing we emphasize with Manufacturing Day, with economic development, and with the county and city, is we want our youth to come back to Marion County and live, or Washington County. So that was part of the Manufacturing Day, understand there's plenty of positions open. Also, we are putting on a transformational roundtable, if you look at your packet, and that is going to be at the Marion County Economic Development Building on December the 6th. It's going to be 12 to 1:30. That'll be at the Friday Forum. And you're going to have EKCEP, Kentucky Career Center, and the Kentucky Chamber Workforce Center. They're going to talk about the substance use disorders and try to get us to understand it more, and also and how it's impacting our workforce. And we have some things that are going to happen in Marion, Washington County. That's with Melody Alton. We talked to Judge Doherty. We also talked to Barry Brady, and also One Bridge to Hope. We are going to work with the inmates and transition them into employment. And that's our goal in Marion County. So that is going to be a great event. I hope you all attend.
When is it?
It's going to be December the 6th at the Marion County Economic Development. And it'll be 12 o'clock to 1:30. Usually it's in 1 hour, but we're going to probably have more people ask questions about it. So it's going to be 12 to 1:30. And then lunch will be provided also. And that'll be at the Marion County Economic Development, 3rd floor. And then we're working with ECTC. They're also a partner in our office. And ECTC, we're getting ready to work with prior learning. And what that is, any kind of certifications you get from your companies, ECTC is going to look and see if we can count it as a college credit. So that's going to be also, that'll be November the 19th. And that's 1 to 6 at the Career Center. We have somebody from ECTC who's going to look at the certifications and see if they can merge them to a college credit. Does anybody have any questions? And right now we're just busy with workshops. We work with the Detention Center, One Bridge to Hope. We work with the school system with all the workshops. So we've been in and out of the office. I'm out a lot more, and Elizabeth stays in more, and she does most of the workshops in-house, and I do more outside. And we're working on career clubs too with Marion, Washington County Schools.
Thank you, Terry.